heavy rainfall and flooding loom. And as we prepare for the storm, NEMO urges businesses and community to balance safety and continuity. And two arrested for the murder of Julio Carrillo in Orange Walk District. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Thursday, November 14th, 2024.
Ladeville Cable Technician vacancies. Centaur Communications is a regional provider of internet and cable services. We offer a unique opportunity to join a growing and innovating company in the telecommunication industry. At Centaur, we believe the work you do should be as empowering as the services we provide and deliver to our customers. Therefore, interested applicants from Ladeville wanting to join our team as a cable technician must possess, in addition to a high school diploma, the following qualifications: ability to handle basic installation tools including a 30-feet ladder, ability to test, troubleshoot, and document test results, ability to understand, adhere to, and promote the company's health and safety policies, ability to install, terminate, and test coax cables and twisted pair cable, must have a valid driver license A and be able to travel, must be willing to work flexible hours, possess excellent customer service skills, understanding basic computer networking will be an asset. Interested applicants may submit a letter of application along with your resume, 2 letters of reference, and a police record, no later than Friday, November 29, 2024, to Human Resources Manager, Centaur Communications Corporations Limited, 61 Queen Victoria Avenue, Orange Walk Town.
Hi, I'm Ava.
And I'm Aiden. We're your AI guides to all things NHI.
In this video, we will guide you on how to become an NHI member. You, and if you have a child, must have a Social Security card. To get an SSB card is easy. Visit socialsecurity.org.bz/card-replacement to view the required documents that are needed.
There is a fee of only $5 Belize for a first-time issue and $26 Belize for a replacement card. Newborns can use their mother's SSB card for up to 2 months.
With your SSB card, you and all family members can register at any NHI contracted clinic of your choice.
You and members of your family can now access health care when needed.
Please note that once you are registered with a clinic, you must go to that same clinic when you need medical care. Look out for more NHI guides like this.
With your news also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7, I am Joanna Rodriguez. Residents of Belize are on high alert as the country prepares for the potential threat posed by Tropical Storm Sara, which formed in the Caribbean on Thursday. Transitioning from potential Tropical Cyclone 19, the storm is anticipated to decelerate near Honduras by Friday, stalling in the region throughout the weekend. The National Hurricane Center has issued thunderstorm warnings for neighboring countries, Nicaragua and Honduras, as uncertainty looms over the storm's path and intensity. The system is forecasted to strengthen in the Caribbean's warm waters, although land interaction near Honduras, Belize, and Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula could limit its intensity. Regardless of Sara's ultimate strength, the storm's anticipated slow movement across the region is expected to bring torrential rainfall and widespread flash flooding. At 3 p.m. local time, Tropical Storm Sara was located near latitude 15.9 north, longitude 83.5 west, or about 330 miles east by south of Belize City. Sara was moving to the west at 10 miles per hour with maximum sustained winds of 40 miles per hour. A westward motion at a slower forward speed is expected during the next couple of days. A slow west-northwestward motion is forecasted by late Saturday. With this imminent threat, Chief Meteorologist Ronald Gordon provided an update during a Zoom briefing this morning, emphasizing the importance of readiness as the storm approaches Belizean waters.
From this tracking tool, there is a wide cone of uncertainty with where the center of Tropical Depression 19 would go, extending from south of Belize, actually, all the way up to northern Yucatan. There is also an indication of the probability of winds of tropical storm force reaching each area within 5 days. And up to this morning, the probability for Belize was less than 20%, right? That doesn't mean it won't happen. It means that within that period, based on that forecast, it was very low of us getting tropical storm force winds. Now we do know that the system is expected to intensify. And as such, it is quite likely that these will eventually move or closer to us, and the probability will increase of us getting tropical storm. In here, where I'm indicating with the cursor, which is, of course, Tropical Depression number 19. You can see some banding features developing across the Gulf of Honduras, which indicates that the system is becoming better organized as we speak. The system is at 15.7 degrees north, 82.6 west. It is moving to the west at 14 miles per hour with a minimum central pressure of 1,004 millibars and maximum sustained winds of 35 miles per hour. Based on our calculation, that puts the system at 391 miles east by south of Belize City. Now, if you were to do an average and calculate distance divided by speed, that would bring the system in our area within 27 hours. However, the forecast is for the system to slow down, so that 14 mile per hour speed is not expected to be maintained. The forecast is for it to stall north of Honduras for at least 24 to 36 hours, and then eventually begin moving to the northwest into our area. So what you're seeing is that basically most of the deep convection are not near the center, which again would kind of indicate that it's not as strong, or it is not organizing as rapidly as a system that will become a hurricane. This is the global forecast system, better known as the American model, initialized at midnight local time. And let's move forward in time. You can see the low pressure center around here, as we have indicated, near the northeast coast of Honduras and Nicaragua. If we forward in time, and let's go to 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, local time, you see a low here in this area, north of Honduras. Let's move forward another 24 hours. Now they have the low remaining there, but becoming much more disorganized. And this is because of land interaction. So because the system is moving so close to the coast of Honduras, this model is suggesting that it is going to weaken. You see, but interestingly, I want you to focus on Belize. You can see that even though it's a weaker system, there are bands of showers and thunderstorms affecting the country. These colors of deep blue towards purple are indicating heavy rainfall activity over, in this case, southern.
While there is still some uncertainty in the forecast, northern Honduras could experience up to 30 inches of rain, while Belize, Nicaragua, and surrounding areas may see up to 15 inches, increasing the risk of mudslides and severe flooding. For Belize, the likely scenario is that we will be impacted by a tropical storm.
So what you're seeing on the screen now is the rainfall accumulation predicted again by a model. So bear in mind that It doesn't have to be that exact value. But what you're seeing, these shades of orange into red indicate very high rainfall. And this is from 6 or midnight last night or this morning to about midnight on Monday. So accumulation over a 5-day period of about, I would say out here, upwards of 10 inches of rainfall, possibly even higher across parts of Belize, and of course over Honduras where the system is stationary. So there will be significant rainfall from the system as indicated by these models. It could be potentially higher, it could be lower. These are model guidance, model estimates, but we need to be prepared for heavy rainfall. In terms of winds, like I said, the latest forecast actually takes it down even less. Yesterday evening, they were projecting it to make landfall with 70 mile per hour wind. It is down now to 50 mile per hour wind. For context, and I don't like to do this, but I will do it, Tropical Storm Nadine came ashore with 60 miles per hour wind. The current prediction is for this to come ashore at 50 mile per hour wind. I will repeat that intensity prediction can be off. So we need to bear in mind that the system could come ashore a bit stronger. And if it does come ashore as a 70 mile per hour tropical storm, that is only 5 miles or 4 miles actually lower than the threshold for a Category 1 hurricane.
During today's briefing, Chief Hydrologist Neil Hendy addressed the ongoing flooding crisis affecting various regions of Belize, confirming that flood warnings remain in effect for multiple rivers, particularly the Rio Hondo, Macal, Mopan, and Belize rivers. While there have been some improvements in certain areas, a number of roads in the northern parts of the country are still impassable due to flooding. With Tropical Storm Sara looming in our area, the risk of potential flooding in these already saturated communities increases.
Yes, I can.
Okay, so this is the update at 9 a.m. this morning based on the flooding. We do have a flood warning still in effect for the Rio Hondo, Macal, Mopan, and Belize rivers. Some of the roads in the north are still impassable. With the estimated accumulation of 10 inches of rainfall over a 5-day period, what we can expect that we will be seeing flooding in those areas that will be affected. The areas that are already flooded, if you receive additional rainfall, we can see the extent widening in these areas, and when it cannot what we say spread out anymore, the extent it will go deeper. So we might see an increase in the flood level height or the height of the water in your area.
As a potential Category 1 hurricane looms in the forecast for the coming days, the National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO, is working diligently to prepare both businesses and the community for the impending storm. Today, the National Emergency Coordinator, Daniel Mendes, emphasized the importance of balancing safety with operational continuity.
We at NEMO do not have the overall authority to just say businesses must close. This is a major decision that needs to be addressed at the highest levels. And so we work at NEMO on the advice of the National Met Service, as I said, and National Hydrological Service, in order to do the best we can to protect people. At the same time, I do understand that the business community does have a need to keep businesses going as long as possible. I keep saying that every source system is different, every system is unique, but there is always that need to balance safety and business keep on going. So we will continue to provide advice as best as possible.
In light of recent criticisms regarding the lack of timely updates during Tropical Storm Nadine, CTV3 News sought clarity on how NEMO plans to improve its communication strategies in the event of a severe weather situation. While acknowledging the shortcomings faced during the previous storm, Mendes reassured the media that NEMO offices would strive to provide real-time information as necessary, maintaining that keeping the public informed is a priority.
Thank you for the question. Clearly, that's something that needs to be addressed, and it's an area that had already been expressed to me by others. It's an area that we will be revisiting and ensure that we'll be able to provide more information. So we will be working with our district coordinators to ensure that information is provided to you as necessary.
The 3 p.m. advisory shows that the center of Sara will move near the northern coast of Honduras during the next couple of days and approach the coast of Belize on Sunday. Some strengthening is expected, and Sara should have maximum sustained winds of around 50 miles per hour at landfall in Belize. The main threat from this system will be heavy rainfall with totals of 5 to 10 inches with locally higher values. This could result in flooding. Strong gusty winds will result in rough sea conditions, so mariners are advised to stay alert and monitor the weather situation. Some coastal flooding is expected north of where the system makes landfall. Given this latest update, the Prime Minister, acting on the advice of the Chief Meteorological Officer and the National Emergency Coordinator, declares the preliminary phase of the National Hurricane Plan. One red flag will be flown at signal centers across the country. The preliminary phase shall be deemed to be in operation following the declaration by the Prime Minister after a tropical depression, tropical storm, or hurricane is likely to make landfall within 72 hours. Hazards expected to affect Belize include access to heavy rainfall, 5 to 10 inches with locally higher values, which can result in localized flooding. Winds of up to 50 to 60 miles per hour are possible within the impact area. This may result in damage to structures, crops, and trees. At this time, a flood warning remains in effect for the central and northern region, including Rio Hondo, Macal, Mopan, and Belize rivers. Residents are advised to continue monitoring the system very closely and to follow official information coming from NEMO and the Met Service. Countrywide, all NEMO District Emergency Operations Centers remain on alert. Coming up next, raising awareness, Orange Walk Central Office hosts clinic and campaign for World Diabetes Day. Stay tuned.
Hi, my Orange Walkenios. Have you considered why areas of our town flood easily? It's no secret that developing areas in our town flood easily due to clogged drains full of garbage and debris. By properly disposing of waste, we ensure free flow in our drains, preventing flooding in developing areas. I thank you as we ask for your support.
Project, it's a vanilla training for the west and the southern part of the country, which is being funded by the Taiwan mission in Belize. Our focus is to diversify, to find ways to diversify the economic base of Belize. And we had identified that there may be some competitive advantage in the vanilla sector. While Belize doesn't have much production right now, there seems to be an interest in the international market for Belize gourmet vanilla bean. And we identified for the south, which is Bella Vista, to implement it because we found out, first of all, that they have a quite good history in implementing projects. We're training 30 women, okay, and girls. A partnership with the school, with the high school, where they're bringing in at least a little less than half of the persons that will be trained are young girls, youth.
Vanilla is native to Toledo District. It is easy to grow. It can be grown in the backyard. It requires no special skill. You don't have to go far off to a plantation to do it. So it really lends itself to rural what we call home gardens. And is a way to generate income for households.
The demand towards women is so high, the expectations are high, and the rewards are always low, especially to the members, those who will be taking this course. Take advantage of it, work hard. You know, in 2022, when that email came to me, At no point I ever think that we will have this opening of this training in Bayamista today, in my village. When I took that initiative, I did it right away. You know why? Because I did it for the betterment and the progress and the development of our beautiful country, Belize.
Two men have been arrested and charged with the murder of 38-year-old Julio Carrillo in San Lazaro village located in the Orange Walk district. The incident occurred on November 8, 2024. Authorities report that the suspects, 47-year-old Ibran Rangel Moguel, a farm worker, and 24-year-old Emmanuel Natividad Carrillo, a cane farmer, allegedly fatally stabbed Carrillo multiple times. The victim's body was discovered by two miners who stumbled upon the grisly scene in a cane field near the village. According to investigators, Carrillo had been missing for several days prior to the discovery of his body. Witnesses and family have indicated that he may have been killed by individuals he considered friends. The motives behind the stabbing remain unclear as the investigation continues. With forecasting persistent downpours through the weekend, the Albion Islands here in the north, including the communities of San Antonio, San Roman, Douglas, are being advised to monitor the situation. Some areas of these communities remain underwater, and the rising waters have also led to the closure of roads, making transportation challenging and isolating some communities from essential services. Today, Daniel Mendez, NEMO's National Emergency Coordinator, updated the media on assistance being provided to these affected areas.
So I just want to let the country know that NEMO has actually been in continuous operations over the past few weeks. We have been providing support to flood-prone areas, and let me share you some examples of these. Currently, we are supporting two areas that are currently being impacted by flood. These are the villages of San Roman on the Rio Hondo and San Antonio. As you are aware, that these areas are currently impassable by road. So we have been providing support to those. Currently, what I'm showing you is a satellite image that was taken a few days ago. Note that this is older imagery. It is very difficult to get good or recent imagery because of different cloud covers, which make it almost impossible for us to see. But what this is showing you is the as of November the 2nd, the water levels along the Rio Hondo. So we are currently supporting boat operations in the Rio San Antonio area, where residents are ferried across this flooded area highlighted in blue by boat. In the San Roman area, you will also note that the darker areas are flood areas that are currently underwater via a boat that is provided by the Belize Defense Force and also by a Belize Defense Force truck, which is also ferrying residents across these flooded areas. Currently, we're also monitoring the increasing levels in the village of Douglas. There are currently two families in shelter there. And as I stated before, in San Roman and Santa Cruz area, we are continuing the support of ferrying of workers and students utilizing BDF trucks and boats.
As Tropical Storm Sara approaches the shores of Belize, the government has initiated a Phase 1 warning, urging residents to prepare for potential impacts. The National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO, has been activated alongside district committees that are actively formulating response plans in anticipation of the storm. In light of the severe weather conditions and recent intense rainfall, which have already caused significant damage to newly constructed roads across the country, authorities are on high alert. Today, Evan Dale Moody, Chief Engineer of the Ministry of Agriculture, Development and Housing, MIDH, provided an update on critical infrastructure developments. He announced the reopening of the Hawksworth Bridge, which has been closed since March of this year for much-needed rehabilitation. The bridge now facilitates connectivity between the twin towns of San Ignacio and Santa Elena, a vital link for residents and local commerce.
Yeah, so yesterday we did basically a soft opening with the minister and also the CEO, so that we could basically open up back the bridge now to the general public. As you may recall, in March, earlier this year, we decided to close the structure to do some rehabilitation works on that structure that was desperately needed. As you may be aware, that bridge was built in 1949, and so it's almost 75 years old. And the ministry has done some work on that structure previously, but not to the extent that we have done this year. And so we commenced those works in March to do a complete rehabilitation of the structure because there was a number of things that required significant maintenance, such as the girders for the structure, the vertical hangers, the two towers that it has, also the anchor chambers, which are the chambers that hold the cable strands to the bridge structure itself. And so we did significant rehabilitation works on the entire structure, including the deck for the pedestrian footpath and also the barriers that were there before and used to be some wooden barriers. We've changed those to metal barriers as well. We did some works to the piers as well, and also to the abutments. So with these works, we expect that we have extended the life of that bridge, I would say another 20 years. And so cumulative, that bridge could last us another 50 years with proper maintenance by the ministry. So that is the key thing that must be done for us to extend the longevity of the bridge itself. It's the only suspension bridge in this part of the world itself. And so if we could maintain that, then I think it could extend its life even longer.
With Tropical Storm Sara poised to affect the region, Moody addressed the ministry's proactive plan to mitigate the impact of the storm.
Okay, we're hoping that it doesn't come our way. It will be best for the entire country, not just for the ministry. However, from the onset of the hurricane season, the minister, Minister Espat, CEO Espat, and myself, we basically put a plan in motion for the entire hurricane season. And so we've met regularly every Tuesday with the technical team. So even though we don't have any storms, there are works that we are doing in preparation for the event that we have a storm. So in each of our districts, we have stockpiled already materials in the event that we have washout on certain roads that we have material readily available. In each district, we have extra culverts that we have procured of various sizes. So those are also available in the event we have washout on roads or secondary roads or former roads that needs to be addressed immediately. Our equipment are also have been serviced and ready to move. So what we'll do, we'll have another meeting tomorrow morning, basically to strategize on how we go, depending upon where the storm will make landfall and where it affects more significantly. The ideal plan is that we will have most of our equipment in the Belmopan area. From there, we could move out into the districts, whether it's Belize City, the Orange Rock and Corazon district, or the south or the west. So we have been doing a number of things to have everything in place in the event we have to mobilize.
The month of November is celebrated annually as Diabetes Awareness Month, and today, November 14th, is observed as World Diabetes Day. This day is set aside annually to raise awareness about this non-communicable disease and its growing prevalence around the world. Health statistics in the region places the jewel among the highest prevalence of type 2 diabetes in Central and South America and the 5th highest in the world. Type 2 diabetes has also been named by health authorities as one of the leading causes of death in Belize. To show support for this important cause and help raise awareness about the disease, today the Orange Walk Central Office partnered with several organizations, including the Northern Regional Hospital, to host a health clinic and awareness campaign at the Central Office here in town.
Today we opened our doors to the community, to the businesses, for World Diabetes Day. The Orange Walk Central Office, in partnership with the Ministry of Health, are offering free sugar testing, blood pressure, syphilis test, HIV test, weight check, and a nutritionist consultation.
Health clinic included a number of services, including diabetes testing, as well as discussions about the importance of a healthy diet.
Okay, so diabetes is something globally, right, as any other chronic diseases. And today we are globally celebrating what is World Diabetes Day. And each and every organization should be advocating and bringing awareness to the promotion and the prevention of diabetes, because in this way we can prevent from having any other type of complications that comes, because most of the time people think that it's just the sugar that is high, but from the sugar being high and not controlling, that can lead us to problems with high blood pressure, kidney problems with our eyes, right, or problems also with our nervous system, and that where we can include what is the diabetic foot as well, right?
All right. Now,
Today's activity saw participation from a number of local organizations and their employees who came out to access the services offered.
Every year we have thousands of people diagnosed with diabetic conditions. It's a very major health issue. We decided that not only the Ministry of Health should encourage and bring out awareness for this type of issue. We have a lot of Belizeans that come to our office that need assistance with diabetic treatment and insulin and different types. So we said the best way is early prevention, knowing what you have and taking care of yourself with healthy living choices.
Over the weekend, the Orange Walk Central Office, along with the Office of the Special Envoy and the United Women's Group, Orange Walk Branch, will also be hosting a self-defense class at the People's Stadium from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
Pro FC is here on Saturday, November 30th. Pro FC arrives at the Garden City Belmopan. Pro FC 14 Mundo versus Topsy inside the UB Gymnasium in the city of Belmopan. The main event is the lightweight championship fight between the defending champion Marvin Manley Mundo versus the dangerous Amel Topsy. We also have 9 other exciting MMA fights, including 2 more championship fights and a featured professional international MMA fight featuring the undefeated Frank Mac Vasquez. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. and the event starts at 7:30 p.m. sharp. General admission tickets are only $30 and VIP tickets are $80 available at the event ticket booth. Pro FC, Belize Premier MMA League. Pro FC 14 live exclusively on Centaur.
Pro FC 14 is brought to you by Smart, bringing people together, the Belmopan City Council, and Express Plus app, streaming entertainment.
The Ministry of Natural Resources, Petroleum and Mining, in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security and Enterprise, and the Partnership Initiative for Sustainable Land Management, conducted today a training session on climate smart agriculture under the Caribbean Small Island Developing States (SIDS) Multi-Country Soil Management Initiative for Integrated Landscape Restoration and Sustainable Food Systems. This training, led by experts Abimael Pook and Andrew Che, focused on the Climate Smart Agriculture Compliance CSAC tool, a legally recognized instrument for evaluating climate smart agriculture compliance within projects. The CSAC tool is a vital resource for managing the impacts of climate change, promoting resilient farming practices, and strengthening food security in Caribbean SIDS. With this tool, stakeholders can effectively access climate-smart practices among farmers, advancing efforts to build a sustainable agricultural brand. The primary objectives of the training included providing participants with the in-depth knowledge of climate-smart agriculture principles, enhancing participants' capacity to utilize the CSAC tool as a means of validating climate-smart practices, and conducting practical assessments with farmers to gauge their climate-smart agriculture compliance levels. Today's training drew Ministry of Agriculture Extension officers from all districts, alongside representatives from EIH Conservation Trust, Sugar Industry Research and Development Institute, CERDI, and Centro Escolar Mexico Junior College. Participants had the opportunity to apply the CSAC tool on site at a local farm, evaluating the level of climate-smart agriculture compliance firsthand. On September 9, 2024, 21-year-old Josiah Rodriguez was involved in a serious motorcycle accident that has left him in desperate need of reconstructive surgery on his right hand. Rodriguez, a passenger on a motorcycle driven by a friend, was struck by a white Mitsubishi on Santa Rita Road, leading to a harrowing crash that could have claimed his life. The total cost for the necessary surgical procedure is estimated at $15,000, a sum that Rodriguez and his family are currently unable to cover. In response, they are organizing a turkey dinner sale to raise the vital funds needed for the surgery, which is set to take place in Mexico.
Well, I'm doing this fundraiser because I have ruptured ligaments and I need reconstruction in my wrist. I need close to $15,000 for 3 procedures, 2 major procedures, and if the second one doesn't work, I will need a third one. I need, it's in my right wrist, and I have a fractured bone on the right side of my wrist. I need it. I have like shards of bone inside, which need cleaning out also. So all of that, the specialist Mexican side told me.
How is it that you came upon, having a bad wrist?
Oh, I was involved in an accident on the 9th of September this year in 2024. Right in front of One Stop Solutions in Corozal Town. We were coming on a motorcycle, me and a friend. He was driving the motorcycle, and someone in a white Mitsubishi just tried to do a U-turn. She was on the right side of the road and we were going left. We had our clear route. She had no indicators and she just swerved in front of us. And my friend tried to dodge the car, and he was attempting to go on the other side, but he saw that a vehicle was coming. So he tried to swerve back in, and when we swerved back in is when the car hit us from behind. And then it hit us right around where my feet was. And then that's what made us flew off the motorcycle. And then they had a palm tree right there, and that was actually what stopped me from continue flying across the street where another vehicle was coming.
The person, you know who it is?
No, we do not know who it is at the moment. All we know it is a female, and she was driving a white Mitsubishi.
No police report?
No. I went a couple of times, but we were back and forth, and my leg, I was very injured. I couldn't walk that well, and they had us coming in like 2 times a day for like 4 days, and we still couldn't get our report done. And then we went back, and then now they are asking us for more things, and they are telling us that insurance might not even be liable to pay me anything because I was not driving the motorcycle.
If you would like to assist Josiah Rodriguez, he can be reached at 622-3637 for more information on how to help or to place orders for the turkey dinner. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Friday, November 15th here on CTV3 News and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at CTV3BelieveNews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/CTV3BelieveNews or our YouTube channel at CTV3 News BV. From all of us here at CTV3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.